well, he doesn't really get red, but you can just see him get really angry. And he switches to Draconic, actually, so not all of you might be able to understand this. And he says, "My queen, I cannot believe that you're intending these heathens to meet his greatness. This is unforgivable. They will for sure insult him. We should never let them get anywhere near him. I mean, granted, they've managed to drag some crates of weapons here, but a clap on the back is more than enough as a reward for them."
That's a lot of hissing there, bro.
I'm gonna look at him.
What you're saying?
And speak in Draconic and say, "And that is why you're not in charge."
You sort of look to the side and you notice the war chief is like very, very concentrated on like a piece of meat that he has in front of him, and he's trying very hard to not smile. And the shaman just jumps up and he just storms out. And the queen, she sighs and she says, in common, she says, "I do understand your viewpoints, but I would appreciate if you could stop annoying my head shaman so much. These are already trying times enough as it is."
Of course, I do apologize, but the man seems to have it out for me. I understand why, but at the same time, he seems to have a pine cone shoved up his bum a little bit.
The war chief now, he just starts laughing, like this bellowing laugh, and then like looks at the queen, like quickly stifles it, and she shakes her head and she says, "He, just like everyone here, only wants the best for the tribe, and he is just very wary of outsiders and concerned for everyone's well-being."
Understandable. I will be a little more softer on the guy if you will.
I would appreciate it.
Of course, of course.
And she says very, very quietly, still in common, trying to rule this tribe is hard enough.
Is she flirting with him?
No.
Can I do an
She just
insight
seems
to see if
to
she's flirting with
be
me?
exasperated.
And what did happen with was there a king at some point, or have you just been ruling on your own?
She smiles and she says, I understand that humans and elves and some of the other races do prefer to have a king on their thrones, but with us lizard folks, it's always been queens. And that is all there is to it.
Nothing wrong with a strong woman. Or lizard. Strong woman lizard.
Strong and independent.
Yeah, she gives you a polite nod. And yeah, there is music. There are some lizards that are doing some show fighting for you guys to show off how good they are, you know, how much prowess they have, and they're trying to impress you very hard.
Can I ask the queen to dance?
She laughs and she shakes her head and she says, "I do not dance."
Oh, surely you dance. Or are you shy?
The war chief like looks at you and he says, "Give it up. We've all tried." And she just sort of leans back, just crosses her arms and just smiles.
Well, I can respect that.
Lizard Queen does not dance. The other people do, though. And the longer the feast lasts, you know, the merrier everyone gets. And there's singing and dancing, and probably lasts until way too long in the night.
There is one question.
Especially because... Yeah?
What are your plans now? You have your weapons. What is your...
Wait, one second, sorry.
Alright.
There are very loud people outside now. Because they're insisting on mowing the lawn. I could not hear your question, sorry.
That's right. I was just asking what your approach was now that you have your weapons. What is the plan of attack? Are you...
Well, the plan
going
for
straight
now
to war?
is to wait until the last of our forces arrive from our new allies. And after that, we will... Well, while we wait for that, we are planning to send a few scouting parties out to the fortress. And then, depending on what reports we get back from them, we will make a proper plan of attack.
Yeah.
Since I'd rather strike first before the Sahagwin get a chance.
Ah, yeah, the good old ancient tactic. The best defense is offense.
How about we make a deal?
Right? What kind of deal?
Well, how about if me and my friends aid you in your war? And if we need call upon you at a later date, that you would answer that call?
She thinks for a bit, and she says, well, I do have to put my tribe first, of course. So while I would very much appreciate your assistance, I don't think I can just agree to follow any of your future calls. I cannot endanger my tribe.
Well, he might ask you to dance.
She grins and she says dancing will never be a part of that deal.
I might be able to persuade you yet, my dear. Anyway.
But
Well-
if it is a request that I can honor and that doesn't endanger my entire tribe, I will most gladly help you in the future.
Of course, I am not even sure of what that request would be, but any assistance is good assistance, right?
She nods and she says, you've already proven yourself to be valuable allies, willing to deal with us, and now even willing to help us in the war. I would certainly like to properly repay that.
Okay. Well, sounds like a plan. So,
Yeah.
because you're not going straight to war, would that mean we have time to go and see this dragon?
Yes.
sorry.
In fact, I realized that I did not actually ask your permission, but I did arrange a meeting for tomorrow morning, if that is all right with you.
Sounds pleasant.
Very well.
Anyone else have any objections?
I just hope my brew is ready by that time.
You might need it.
Has anyone seen Jimmy?
Oh my god.
I would
Nope.
like to go and call for Jimmy in the marsh.
I'll be back
All
in a
right.
sec.
You just leave the feast. You just head out a bit into the marshes, and you call out for Jimmy.
Speaking with animals.
All right.
Speaking spider.
You speak in Spider. You call out for Jimmy, and you don't get an answer, no.
Are there any other spiders nearby?
There are plenty of other spiders nearby, yes.
Have they heard of a character named Jimmy? Or a spider wielding a... What is he wielding? A wooden spear still?
A wooden
With leg.
Toothpick?
stick. Yeah. They sort of like chatter amongst each other, and then they shake their head and say, "No, haven't heard of a spider."
Damn it, Jimmy.
Wait for
Put you back in the barrel.
You know, he might just not have gotten there yet. I mean, he is really small.
Still
Unreliable
this is
spiders.
Jimmy.
I was counting on their allyship. I don't know what you call it. Alliance. I'm going back inside.
The fellowship of the spider.
I'm supposed to be the Spider King.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, sorry. No spider answers.
No.
My apologies. Alright. Anything else you guys want to do at the feast or that night?
I'm gonna get up and dance.
The tune.
You certainly can get up and dance. There are plenty of people dancing. There are plenty of people to dance with. Except for the queen.
That's fine. I can take it though.
Who, at some point, she just, leaves the feast and heads out and goes to her private chambers. While everyone else is just having a jolly old good time.
Well, I would say I wasn't sitting and I wouldn't dance.
You
Too
wouldn't
old for
dance?
it. I'm too old for this. I would get exhausted
Play
too.
armor. Creak, creak.
I would actually look at the leftovers on the table. Like, was everything eaten, or there's like something left, something brewable? Fruits, veggies, or like.
There's still fruits there. There's still some veggies there.
Are there
Most of
mushrooms? Are there mushrooms?
yes, there are a lot of mushrooms. Yeah, mushrooms seem to make, surprisingly enough, a big part of their food. So yes, there are definitely still plenty of mushrooms around.
I'll pinch some for myself then.
Alright, you pinch some mushrooms. No problem.
There is.
You can also just straight up go to the kitchen and just ask them for ingredients.
Where is Litrix right now?
Litrix is just hanging around with a bunch of other lizards, some of which seem to be of the female persuasion. And he seems to be telling stories, and if you listen in, they may or may not be ever so slightly a little bit exaggerated tales of your adventures. And they're all very impressed by how brave of a warrior he is and how strong he is.
I'm gonna walk next to Litrix with a carrot pie and a mouthful of this carrot pie, and just be like, Litrix, you wouldn't happen to be telling tall tales to these lovely lizard females, would you?
Do you say this in Draconic or in Common?
Oh, in Draconic.
Oh, okay. He looks at you and says, girls, this is Jannis. He's, as I've told you, he's a good friend of mine and an incredibly fantastic shot. No, of course. I just told him about our adventures. About the Kraken we've been fighting, the cultists. You notice that he's not taking his eyes off the pie that you're holding.
I'm just gonna take the pie and just smack it in his face and run off.
Oh my god. Give me an attack roll. Just roll me a d20. Alright. You smack it right in his face, like perfectly in his lizard face. There is carrots fly everywhere. And he just jumps up and he starts cursing you with very creative curses actually. And he just jumps at you and not actually trying to hurt you, but sort of wrestles you and like tries to drag you over to the table to find something to smash your face into.
I grab him and I say, wait a minute.
What?
Let me open my bag up.
You have more.
Let me open my bag up.
Alright. Show. Go on. Hand it up.
And I get out another pie. I'm like, I save this one for you.
He grabs it. And he says, thanks. And just turns around and walks back to the girls.
Good. Let him enjoy himself. Worth it.
And yeah, he shares it with them, and they seem to enjoy it quite a bit as well. It seems that carrot pie is just something lizards like.
Well, hopefully that helped in one a girl's favor, right?
Probably. Some of them seem quite infatuated with him.
Well, with all the tall tales, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty sure that the Kraken wasn't that big, you know? And there weren't that many cultists around?
I feel like I should be his wingman right now and kind of just talk it up a little bit more.
He seems to have it. He seems to be going pretty well.
All right. In that case, I'll leave him be.
He has his little fan club. Alright, anything else anyone wants to do?
I think I have accomplished everything I need to.
Get your well-deserved rest. Alright.
Tune. That's all I want to do.
To be fair, you could have tuned in the room, Owen.
Yeah. I'm gonna tune more.
We can also say that you already are attuned.
Also, you're very quiet.
You're very quiet. Yeah, you go back to your room. It's pretty bloody late, but you got lots of food. You hopefully enjoyed yourself. Some more, some less, probably. And you have a lovely night's sleep and get some long rest, and you dream of lizards and giant armored T-Rexes.
And weep because Steve is no longer here.
True. No more random explosions. Yeah.
Look,
who just gave the goblin away?
A hard decision, but a good one, alright? When Steve comes back and starts throwing meteor storms around, then, you know, you'll understand.
Which reminds me, what have we done with the cultists that we dragged along with us?
Good question.
What have you done? Has any one of you done anything, or did you leave it up to Litrix, who was taking care of all the baggage that you had with you and the horses? Because he was taking care of the horses and like the crates and everything. So he probably dealt with it.
I wasn't carrying him.
Assuming so, because none of us said anything, so...
Yeah, you know? Then he probably dealt with it. All this, you know, somewhere outside, a very angry cultist.
I might go out and check to see, like, where the cultist has wound up.
You go outside and you see that your horses are like sort of close to the entrance. They built like a little protective roof for the horses because they themselves don't have horses, obviously. but they took very well care of them, and there are 2 guards at the entrance who greet you, but there is no tied up cultists to be seen anywhere.
I'll approach one of the guards, well, the pair of guards. Excuse me, when Lictrix was organising our supplies, there was a man that we were keeping bound. Where was he taken?
Oh, the prisoner you had. Yeah, we put him to the other prisoner you guys left here last time.
I was not here last time. I'm not sure where that is.
Oh, yeah, I can show you the way.
Yes, thank you.
He leads you down some corridors, and eventually you get to the bit of the area that is closer to the sea, and you actually notice that everything gets a bit more damp and just a bit wetter. And he leads you to a room that has like multiple cells. And he points at one of them, and you can see the cultist in there. You know, he's no longer bound and gagged, but he's behind bars. There's no reason for it. And he like points to the cell next to him, and he says, "Yeah, and the other guy is also still alive. We took good care of him." And he gives you a smirk, and then just turns around and leaves because he is supposed to stand guard.
The other guy, what does he look like?
The other guy is a human. From what you can tell, he's a human male. He has shaggy hair. He's just sort of cowering in the corner, like sort of curled up into a ball, not really moving or paying any attention to anything that's going on.
I'll just sort of like, I guess, come a bit closer to his cell. I was like, "Excuse me, how are you faring?"
You don't really get a reaction.
Does he look injured at all, or?
Him being barefoot, you can see that he's missing a few toes. He does seem like he has been injured in the past, but it's all like healed up. He's not currently actively injured. He's just.
Do the injury, like the missing toes, look recent?
I mean, yeah, it's not like a really old wound. It's healed, but recently healed.
Oh, okay, like as in the past couple of weeks or the past couple of months?
Something like that. Past couple of weeks is probably.
Okay. I'll head back to like where I think I can find some blankets.
Alright. Yeah, there is a storage area that you came past earlier. Yeah. That also had like blankets and stuff. You can.
Yeah, I'll grab a couple of them to bring down. Right. And I'll give them to one to each of them.
Alright. Yeah, the cultist is, he actually thanks you, and he says it's bloody damp and cold here. I can't believe I'm saying this. I did prefer the cellar that you put me in.
None of this is overly ideal. Sorry.
He just shrugs, and he says, "It is. I guess you can't really do too much about me. Should have let me go when you had the chance, eh?"
You're assuming knowledge that I do not have.
He just shakes his head and he sighs and he says, "Well, maybe one day you can convince them to honor their promise and let me go."
Hopefully.
And the other guy, like, at first, he doesn't really react to you trying to give him the blanket. But then he sort of looks up at you, and he, like, looks at you, and he says, "You're not a lizard."
No.
Or them.
Last I checked, I wasn't a lizard, no.
What are you doing here?
There's
Can
a
you
war
get-
coming.
I've heard them talking about it. I've also heard them talking about feeding me to a dragon. Are you here to feed me to the dragon?
I have no intention of feeding you to a dragon. Why would you be fed to a dragon?
Well, that was their plan, right?
Who is they?
Well, those insane people who captured me and put me here.
Why did they capture you?
I don't bloody know. They just... It all went wrong. They thought I was someone else, I think, and then they just kept dragging me around and they wouldn't let me go, and they kept taking me to strange places, and they threw me into rooms where there were like spiders eating my flesh.
Inside check that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably all like completely true.
These are all lies. Don't believe them now.
We are good people.
This is defamation. I will sue.
Can I walk up behind? It's like, it's not as bad as it sounds. I promise.
You're not there right now.
I know. I wish I was.
He seems to be in no condition where he would be trying to deceive anyone. Like, he seems to be pretty just broken.
How were you captured? Like, what reason did they have to take you hostage?
Well, it was a stupid scheme with a friend of mine, and it all just went wrong. We heard of adventurers coming to town, and they wanted to investigate the haunted house, and we had this idea of pretending to have me like knocked out and tied up so I could scare them with stories of like horrible people living there and make them go away. But they didn't rescue me. They lopped my toes off, they cast magic at me, and then they started to throw me into rooms to figure out if there were enemies in there.
Why did they torture you so?
I don't know!
Gonna inside check that as well. Ugh. Just when I need good rolls.
You know, you can't tell. He seems to be very agitated, and he might be very good at lying. Who knows? You're not entirely sure.
If I was to use, like, lay on hands on him, would it, like, help in any fashion, or...?
Yeah, it would definitely, if you, like, do a little bit, like, cure disease, that might help him just calm down a bit and deal with it a bit better. Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'll reach out and I'll pump the 5 points I need to in order to do that into him.
Yeah, he relaxes a bit and he takes a deep breath. And he says, I guess they just assumed I was part of the whole smuggling operation that was going on there, but I wasn't. I was just, well, I mean, I was friends with the guy that ran it, but I never actually did any smuggling myself. I just helped him with this stupid prank. We thought it would be funny, to be honest.
I see.
But then they broke into his house. They bloody robbed his mom. The old lady, she was always incredibly nice. And then when I actually managed to get away, they just kept chasing me. They chased me to my sister's village where I was hiding, and they killed everyone there and dragged me back.
Your sister's village, what was this?
Just a bit away from SaltMarsh. I thought if I got out of town, I'd be fine. I didn't think they could follow me all the way there.
How many people were in the village?
Well, not everyone, but just... I saw them shoot my cousin.
Did your cousin die?